All right. Welcome, everyone. Okay. This light might be a little too bright. My skin was not cooperating today with the makeup, so I had the light turned up to hide my mistakes. Or, well, some days my skin is like, I don't know. Some days it makes my makeup cakey, and then other days it's fine. So it's really annoying. Today is just one of those days. I think it's just like, I think it's when I haven't been doing a skin routine for a few days, which I haven't. And I think my skin starts to dry out. All right, Kristen. Hello, Kristen. Andrea? Hope I'm saying that right. Mary Jane, welcome. Also, you're welcome you got membership too. Thank you. Welcome. Sarah, hey. Witchy Poo, hello. Annette, hi. Destination Spooky, hello. How are you doing? Hope everyone's doing well today. I am discombobulated today. All right. Lashes keep hitting my glasses. I'm having issues. I'm very disorganized today, guys. Okay. Yesterday threw me off, and now today I'm just disorganized. And I forgot that I had a ultrasound this morning to look at my neck again, because my doctor's like monitoring my neck. But yeah, so I forgot about that. Then I woke up and my Alexa's like tells me the weather whenever I wake up, and it's like it's 2 degrees out, but it's freezing rain, and all these warnings are in effect, and I'm like, God damn it, it's starting to go out in that friggin' mess. Oh man. Annette, you look beautiful. Oh, thank you. Yeah, I think you can't see the issues because of the lighting. um, I usually put like powder on. Okay, for women might know this. You may or may not. I put like white powder on areas that I want to like lighten up after I like put all my contour and stuff on, and I let it sit there, and it's called baking when you let it sit there. So I let the powder sit there, and then I do my eye makeup. Well, today, for whatever reason, my face is like, yeah, no, that's cakey now. I'm like, okay, so I guess when I'm having these bad skin days, I shouldn't do the it's called powder baking. I shouldn't do the baking. So, but I think the lighting is hiding it, Because I did not want to do my makeup over again. I did not want to wash it off. So I left it as is. Um, yeah, there's a few topics I talked about yesterday, so we're going to go over that. Also, I haven't gotten a video essay ready for this week. I think what I'm going to do, I made some notes for video this week. One is I'm going to say the midweek videos. I'm not going to guarantee that there's going to be a midweek video every week. I'm just going to leave it at that and not put the pressure on to do 2 videos a week. I'll do my best. Number 1. Number 2, what I'm thinking I'm going to do, I did want to do a video about the Oracle of Delphi. I enjoy history, and I started off this channel like doing history of the paranormal, and I haven't done a history video. Like, I feel like I don't do enough history videos. Like, I enjoy them. But what I was thinking about doing this week, because I just haven't had time to research anything to write up a proper script and talking points and stuff. I was thinking about doing a video on how to research a medium, like show you guys how I do research on people. Like, if that helps anyone. Not that I believe in any medium. I think more like, I don't know, trying to teach people how to research these people. So, like, if you think someone's fake, or if you want to see if your favorite medium is fake, like, I want to show you how I look up stuff on people. I was thinking about doing that. I do want to do a video on why people believe in psychics, but that's going to be a very short video, and I just kind of want to do it as like a side tangent, because a lot of people leave comments of like, I don't understand why people believe in psychics, and there's a lot of reasons. So I was thinking about maybe doing that as a video. I was thinking about doing that as a video in combination with another thing, and I did not write it down, of course. You know what? That might come to me later. If I write it, I think I had the thought as I was falling asleep, so I didn't write it down, and of course I've forgotten it. So I was thinking about this week doing like a video where I just sit down and show you guys how I research people. That's what I was thinking about. Because I want to record something tonight, and I have 2 other videos I need to edit as well. One of them is members only, and one of them is a member special video that will be available to the public later. So I also need to work through that. Although, I need to make the following video for that. I may end up having to record tomorrow. I try to get all my recording done by Tuesday, because I have so much stuff to edit, but I may end up having to do a recording session tomorrow. We'll see how it goes. I'll figure it out. But oh yeah, and then maybe I was thinking about, like, I don't know, I'll just try to pull some psychic readings and analyze them with you guys. When I was doing the Amy video, I was realizing that, sorry, I'm just bringing up my notes so I don't forget stuff. When I was doing the Amy video, I was realizing that I don't tell you guys what I'm processing in my brain. I forget to explain to you guys, like, there's stuff that I see, there's stuff I recognize, there's words. Hopefully this is pointed right. Oh, sorry. There's words that psychics say that I recognize, and I don't think I bring it up enough. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think I show you guys the stuff from my upbringing, and like stuff I'm just assuming that you guys know, and I'm kind of realizing I don't do that enough, because most people don't know these things because they weren't raised like in a psychic house, right? So I got to try to remember to do that too. So yeah, I was thinking about doing a video where I look at some readings, and I got to try to remember to tell you guys stuff that I'm processing. Sorry, I'm like disorganized today, guys. And somebody did call me last minute right before I went to stream, so I think I just like that kind of threw me off. It wasn't who I was looking to call me, but it was somebody else to tell me that she wasn't in today. So yeah. Cats Gallery, welcome. Hello, welcome, welcome. All right, so it's been a busy. When did the Ouija Brothers release that video? 2 days ago. From what I've seen, it's been a crazy 24 hours, but I guess it maybe started 2 days ago. Sorry, my sinuses are bad right now. Hi, Brian. Marie, my mom was very rigid in my upbringing. My granddad was a policeman who was very, yeah. Yeah. 3 days ago? 2 days ago? Yeah. Regardless, from what I seen, it's like I saw the stuff yesterday, so like 24 hours ago. I did. Oh, for those of you in the chat, does everyone know what I'm talking about when I'm talking about the Ouija Brothers video? If anyone doesn't, let me give you a quick summary without it being too like offensive, I guess. I mean, I could play you guys the side-eye video too. Essentially, the Ouija Brothers went into a home and did a ghost investigation, and the fellow who was there, the man who was in the home before passed away there and wasn't found for like a while, and they showed his ID and they showed a rug that looked like a person passed there, and there was hair and other things on the rug, and they showed it multiple times and kept zooming in on it. Yeah, it was something that like you shouldn't be posting that. Yeah. Yeah, the Ouija Brothers they're a well-respected team amongst the debunkers. I don't know much about them other than when I trust Beardo and Segs and all their opinions of them, so I'm sure they're good guys and they are trusted. They do they don't fake anything. They most often, all their videos, they don't find anything because that's the reality of real paranormal investigation. They are in the UK. When I looked into them once briefly, I was doing the video for 30 East Drive, and I found some issues with that story and the timeline. And I noticed that the Ouija brothers met with the first couple that lived there before that family moved in, before they swapped houses. And I just found it interesting that they didn't see the issues with the timeline and didn't ask that person about why the timeline's incorrect. So that's the only thing that I kind of found. Eki. I never made it to your lives before. I usually just lurk, but I've recently found your channel. Been binging all your stuff. Oh yeah, hey, yeah, welcome. So they did have a controversy in the past. Something with bones. I don't know. But they've since like tried really hard to be authentic and not faking ghost stuff, you know? So they're a good team. They're good guys, according to everyone. I don't know them personally. I don't know. But they went and filmed that. So it's very shocking. They shouldn't have put it on. They shouldn't have put it on YouTube. Like, they just shouldn't have. As soon as they saw that, they should have just left. Like, they were even describing the way it smelled inside, and like that it smelled like death, essentially, you know? Sorry, I burp a little bit. I just had a tea, so my stomach is like, it's like gurgling. So essentially, sorry, that's why. I have GERD and I have medication for it, and I totally forgot to take it today. Hold on. I just remembered because I didn't. I usually I put all my meds in like little pill boxes for like the month, and I haven't done it yet. Yeah, like, so, all right, so here's what I've since found out. So, first, there was questions as to whether they broke in. Apparently, the door was open, and apparently in the UK, it's not illegal to enter a home if the place is already open. I don't know. Someone said that on a video, and I'm like, well, here in North America, that's unlawful entry. Like, you're still entering. There's break and enter. It's not break or enter. It's break and enter. You're still entering. It's still illegal to enter a building that's you don't own, you know? It doesn't matter if the door's open. Like, okay, that's one aspect. Another is apparently it's said now, people are saying that this man passed away years ago and his body sat there for 6 months before being found, right? Yeah, it's trespassing. Like, I don't understand that. That has to be illegal in the UK. That makes no sense to me. It has to be illegal in the UK. Is anyone here from the UK? Like, tell me, is trespassing not a thing in the UK? Because that's what someone was saying on one of their videos. I don't understand. Brian, sometimes people get a little bit too cocky. They're told how they're the most honest group, so they start to feel they could put anything out. Yeah. No. The issue, yeah, Kristen, the issue is not whether or not they broke in. I'm just covering all the discussion points because these are things everyone's talking about. So yeah. Well, in Canada, we have like strict gun laws and people don't just have guns everywhere. And the ID said 2024. Okay, so then this information going around must not be correct. Because my point was, all right, trespass is a civil matter over here. Yeah, it's unlawful trespassing. Okay. It's not a police matter. Oh, that's dumb. Yeah. Okay. So if the ID said 2024, because my point was, all right, so I used to do urban exploration along with paranormal investigation, and I'm old school. Like, this was before YouTube was popular and a thing, right? I used to do urban exploration a lot because we would go and check out like abandoned places to see, one, to check out old architecture, two, to like see how a building decays, like see how nature takes it back, because that's always really interesting. Three, as well, just to like check out history, because sometimes you'll like go into an abandoned place and it'll be like frozen in time, right? So okay, where was I going with this? So urban exploration, right? And that's one thing. Now here's the thing. There's rules, and I feel like, I don't know if it's YouTube ghost hunters or like what the hell is going on, but there are rules in urban exploration, and there are rules about this stuff. Like, yes, it's rules we've created. It's moral compass rules, right? So like part of urban exploration is like there is timelines on stuff. You also leave things as they are. You don't touch anything, leave only footprints. There's a bunch of rules. And yes, doing the urban exploration is trespassing. I'm just saying, like, listen, you're still trespassing. Don't try to like fancy it up. It's still trespassing. Okay. Like, you're not absolved just because the door was open. That was sort of my point I was going to get into. Yeah. Okay. Hold on. There's a lot of comments. So one sec. Trespassing is a thing in the UK. Brian, yeah, I'm wearing a gun right now. Yeah, like we don't have guns here, and you can, like, okay, if someone broke in here and attacked me, and if I killed them, I would go to jail for killing them here in Canada. Like, we don't have the same laws, But it's still trespassing here, and it is actually a police matter. So there's a reputable paranormal investigation team in my local town. They've been doing that for years, and they told us that they have only one case of plausible paranormal supernatural activity. Yeah, yeah. This is on the Met Police website. Entering private land without the owner's permission is trespassing. If someone is camping without permission, trespassing not classified as a criminal offense. It's a criminal offense here in the U.S. and Canada. What's with these commercials popping off? I don't know. I have it on limited amount of ads, like the lowest ads that I could do. Oxford explorers were really? I don't know what this is. They're preserved ghost towns all over the U.S. I love to visit. Enter at your own risk. Yeah, okay. Like, I mean, this thing. Let's urban exploration as a whole side tangent. My point with it was okay, but that the ID saying 2024 now throws this out the window because I wasn't paying attention to the year. Although I didn't watch the Ouija Brothers video because I didn't want to see that shit. So I watched Seg's video, and I didn't go watch the Ouija Brothers because I didn't want to see that. So here's the thing: if it was a couple years, which it's not, but if it was a couple years, if you walked into a place as an urban explorer, or if you're doing a ghost hunt, from back in the day, I'm talking like us old schoolers who like. There's a code of conduct. It's unwritten, but technically it is written, and we all know it. And there's a line, and we know the line. And like, this is where people are discussing a lot. Like, where's the line? There is a line. We all know the line, but I feel like it's gotten forgotten now with YouTube or something. Like, is it brain rot or something? I don't know. But if I entered a place and the person last lived there over 2 years ago or something like that, if I saw the way that they described what they were seeing, because that is in Seg's video, they do describe what they're seeing, I would actually call the cops, because if that wouldn't have been there still, you know what I mean? Like, if it's been a couple years, that wouldn't still be there, But if his ID said 2024 and he was apparently there for 6 months before being found, then yeah, that would still be there. And 2024 is less than a year because we're just in 2025 right now. So, rifling through all the guys' things. Yeah. And they were like, that's the other thing. It was inappropriate. It's inappropriate. Because like when we would go like urban exploration or ghost hunting, if we did ghost hunting in an abandoned place, it would be like a hospital or like an asylum or, something that wasn't a home, right? We would go into abandoned homes just to look at them for urban exploration, but we wouldn't do a ghost hunt because we don't know anything about who was in the home and if anyone passed there, which goes to my other point. They did their homework. They already knew about this guy. Like they planned going to this house because they knew about this person, right? And they explained about him and what happened. All right. Quickly chat. People do have to grasp that people have died in every spot on Earth. Yeah. In my experience, dying in property isn't a prerequisite to a haunting. No, it's not. No. Wasn't the line, you leave it as you found it? Yeah, you're supposed to leave everything as you find it in urban exploration. The ID says it expires in 2024. Oh, okay. It says it expires. But my point is still, okay, even with that, so like you have to apply for it yearly. So 2023, it's still just over a year since he was found. You know what I mean? Yeah, bus passes would be like yearly. That's still not a couple of years because we just started 2025. And if his body was there for 6 months, that's like maybe a year and a half. Like it's still very fresh. But my point is, if it was a couple of years, you would call the cops because that could be a fresh crime. You know what I mean? And the fact that they just kept filming and then decided to post, okay, they had many chances to turn back, to leave, to during editing say, no, this is too far, to not include so many shots of the bodily fluids. Apparently they showed it a ton of times over and over again. Like they had a lot of chances there. Right. I think it's only been, yeah, I would say maybe a year. Like it hasn't been that long. Now, to be fair, they did take down the video and they apologized, and people make mistakes. I get it. Okay. But my issue that I have with this is that people like watch these creators and they copy them, right? And like they got to be more careful. People have to be more careful. If his kids or family saw the video, they should be pissed. Yeah. And like he might not have family, who knows? But even he has friends, I'm sure. And you wouldn't want to see your friend, like, you wouldn't want that, on YouTube, right? The milk in the fridge said July 6th. Yeah, but who knows with the fridge, because there could be people squatting there too. Although they said it like smelled like death, which like makes me think that either there was a fresh crime, which you should call the cops, or that person, the body was there not that long ago, because that smell and all that stuff, it decays. Like insects get at it, things get at it, it's gone. If it's been a couple years, that doesn't make sense. It's either a fresh crime or it hasn't been a couple years. I wonder if they did something shocking so everyone will talk about it and then publicly apologize to get a bigger following. I don't think they did. Like they seem to be sincere and being disturbed by the whole thing and then like realizing that they fucked up. Apparently it's a freedom pass, which some information says is valid for 5 years. So some sort of bus pass. Not 100% sure. Yeah. Okay. Live in the UK. It's yearly bus pass. It's yearly bus pass. Because here for our bus passes, it's yearly as well. Well, although, we can buy monthly, annual, we can buy like monthly or annual bus passes here. So, Beardo did too good a job because I don't believe in ghosts anymore. Barely want to watch these groups anymore. Yeah, I don't really watch too many. The ones that I don't know, there isn't really, although like I don't have a lot of time, but I do like Paranormal Quest. I think it's Paranormal Quest. The guys that they like leave the place, they put all their cameras up and they leave for a couple hours and they film like what's happening when they're not there. I find that really fascinating. I like it. They're free for elderly or disabled here. Yeah, and I think the guy was an elderly person, was he not? Like they had information on him, so like they went there knowing what they were going to do. You know what I mean? Like they went into this knowingly, and the way that they describe like the smell and everything else, like it makes me think that either there was a fresh crime there, which you should have called the cops, or it hasn't been a couple of years. So, is it possible paranormal activity has absolutely nothing to do with dead people or ghosts, but maybe, yeah, I think, honestly, I think paranormal activity has something to do with time isn't linear. And sometimes we can see a moment in time that it's like a little glitch, if you want to call it a glitch in the matrix or something, but we just see a moment in time. And I think that these little glitches or whatever, like veil or whatever that controls time, is thin in certain areas where a lot of horrible shit has gone down, like asylums and things like that, battlefields, things like that. So that's what I personally think it is. Otherwise, it could be a multiverse thing. But like, there's so many people that pass all the time. Like, there just isn't like ghosts roaming around. Like, it'd just be silly. It's like time and space or energy concentration or both. Yeah, like I think I think it can be explained with physics. I just don't think we're there yet for like understanding time and how it's not linear, and then understanding multiverse stuff. Like multiverse stuff is a tough one. That one, yeah, I think we're just not there yet. What about when something moves in a house on its own? Yeah, again, like I think a lot of this stuff can be explained with physics. I think that there is energy and thing. Well, there is actually stuff that we can't see with our own eyes. Uh, like for instance, did you know turtles see like in crazy amounts of colors that humans don't see in, and they can see like radiation and ultraviolet and all this other crap along with seeing what we see. Like there's stuff we do not see. So like there's energies and things that go on that I think it's just sometimes glitches happen, and I think it has something to do with time not being linear and possible just energy fields and things like that. Yeah, there could be emotional energy transference. I could see that in a limited amount. Like, as some of these poltergeist stories get too insane, and I just don't believe it at a certain point. So, are there paranormal investigators that don't investigate based on ghosts, but investigate based on being a force unknown? Not, not really, because like the scientific community and the paranormal community kind of stopped working together after, I'd say after like the reign of Harry Price and Harry Houdini and things like that. Sort of like when they passed, like charlatan ghost hunters kind of showed up, and now science doesn't really work with the paranormal community to investigate things so much anymore. You know what I mean? However, I would say for interesting stuff on it, there are some physicists that are doing math to try to like show this stuff, and I do talk about that in my my video I did. I did a science video on life after death, or whatever. There's a couple guys that I mentioned in that video that do talk about it and do talk about the math and stuff behind it. Sometimes I went looking for a house that had randomly appeared in the 1950s and disappeared. I have no idea what you're talking about, Victor. For a second there with the pause, I thought you said there's no turtles. Oh. Okay, so my point is, I feel like somewhere along the line, the rules of urban exploration have been forgotten, or maybe YouTube ghost hunters just don't know them. Like, is this the problem? Like, I don't know. Like, maybe if you're gonna go to abandoned places to ghost hunt, maybe you should learn how to be an urban explorer before you go there. Because when you learn how to do urban exploration, you learn the rules, and there are rules. And especially like if there's like someone who passed recently, you don't turn it into like you don't put it on YouTube. Okay. If you find fresh, like human, you know, red stuff or like flesh and hair and stuff, you call the cops. Like, because there's homeless people that live in a lot of these abandoned places. It's the other risk with going to abandoned places. But like you call the cops because there could have been a crime there, right? Like that was my point. Is that if it's been a couple of years and if it's that fresh that you can smell it and you can see it still, I would call the cops. Like, why hasn't anyone called the cops? Because that could be a fresh crime, you know? And there's just rules like, yeah, there isn't like a set timeline on like when is it appropriate to investigate or whatever, but it's like, I think it's just human decency. I don't like yeah, there's no set timeline or rules, but I think it's just human decency that like, if something happened in the last few years, let's try to not turn it into content, you know? So if you go on the website with released government documents, there's a bunch where the government got excellent results. No, they did not get excellent results. Their program failed, and I will be doing a video to discuss that stuff. I have a team of us who are going through all the research studies and meta studies that happened after. It was not successful. Their math and their theories are interesting. I will give them that. And the math works, but how they tried to make it work, it's not successful. It's not anything that they can harness. It's not anything we can harness, essentially. I think it's the new generation that don't know old school style. Yeah, that's sort of what I'm thinking, right? Oh yeah, and then Logan Paul, yeah. He's a douchebag. Flario, have you witnessed the paranormal group infighting on YouTube lately? What do you mean? What do you mean lately? And which fight? Like there's always people fighting. Um you're gonna have to be more specific. I don't know which group and which fight you're talking about. There's a bunch of them. Oh, my sinuses are really bad today. I did take an antihistamine too. It's weird. So I guess it's like the new people, and I'm just wondering, like, is there a fix to this? I don't know. Cause like I just worry about people who just like watched the Ouija brother video and like, cause there's dumb ghost hunters out there and they just watch this stuff and they don't pay attention to the backlash. They don't pay attention to the comments and the other things that came with it. And they'll go out and do that. You know what I mean? Like they'll go out and copy somebody. And that's the issue with putting this crap out there without thinking about it, you know? But I will say, like, yeah, people do make mistakes, and we can, and as long as you don't repeat them over and over again and you learn from them, then we can forgive people, of course. And I'm not saying like don't hold the Ouija brothers accountable, but also like I get that, like I get with like giving them a second chance. Yeah, Jenna, are you talking about the Ouija Brothers drama? Because that's the last 24 hours, big one. Because like a lot of people are mad at Beardo, and I get it. Like, if it wasn't one of his friends, he would have laid into them a little bit more about that. Um, Simply Strange. If you're old enough, or if you're not old enough, just Google Jerry Springer. Google Jerry Springer. That is Ben. All right. He has multiple drama channels, not just in the paranormal community, but in other communities too. Ben is the Timu Jerry Springer of YouTube. Just don't take him seriously. um Fake or real, some people, yeah, some people watch for just to try to be scared or whatever, and that's fine. But then people should be labeling their channels as entertainment purposes only when they're faking like ghost activity, because all of them, like 90% of the channels out there, no, not 90%, let's say 90% of the popular ghost hunting channels are faking their content. There's a bunch out there that aren't popular because not faking your content isn't interesting, because you don't find anything like the channels that are faking content. Okay, the dogs are barking upstairs. Agreed. What they do over the next few months is important. I've seen them holding up their hands, but I've also seen a little deflecting as well. Well, why aren't you harsh to other groups? That's the thing. People are harsh to the other groups. And I've seen is that people saying you're going too easy on Ouija brothers, which, yeah, people have gone too easy, not Seg, but like, I understand like Beardo has gone too easy, but they're also Beardo's friends. And like if my friends, I would go easy on my friends too. Like you're going to have like a bias, right? And maybe Beardo should have just said, I don't know, maybe he should have just initially said like, I have a bias cuz they're my friends, so I'm not going to comment on it. But if you want to learn more, other debunkers are covering it, like maybe something like that. I don't know if maybe something like that would have been, that might not have been received better. I don't know. It's Beardo's in a tough spot. He definitely did go easy on them because he's friends with them, but I understand like you tend to go easy on your friends too, because he knows them personally, so he does know their moral compass too, and And I'm sure he knows that they know they fucked up, and that when they say sorry to him, he's like they're being sincere, right? Just like if some of my good friends said sorry, I'd be able to tell if they were lying or not. And I'm assuming I'm making assumptions here, right? I'm just getting into Beardo's mind. Um, Beardo was out when it aired. He did a live Sunday regarding this. Yeah, I watched his live Sunday, and I watched his video today too. Yeah. I really don't get enjoyment from the shows that fake it. It's not for me. Yeah, yeah, no. Honestly, trying to stir the pot, usually watch them through the filters of those who react to these channels. Yeah, the ghost hunters. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Ouija brothers have taken it down, apologized. Yeah, and people have gone quite hard, even to the point Beardo wanted to shut his own channel down, and he signposted people to Seg. Yeah, like people have been harassing Beardo over it, and I guess like the only advice I give to Beardo is just try to like, oh shit, sorry, dropping things. I don't know, try to like ignore it and take a break from the internet for a few days, because people will forget it in a few days, because there will be some new drama. Always, there always is new drama, right? um I understand why Beardo didn't act harshly. It's tough because yeah, like when he goes to critique other groups, they're going to be like, oh well, you didn't hit Ouija brother. Like he's gonna be like facing this for a little bit. But the groups that he critiques deserves it too, so like I don't know, he's in a tough spot. He is in a tough spot, honestly. Yeah. But yeah, we just watch what the Ouija Brothers does over the next while, and take it from there, right? Like, I just think that there's like a bigger issue at hand where like new ghost hunters, like people that are like the new generation or whatever, the YouTube generation, um, they just don't even understand the rules that we all knew as ghost hunters from like us who were doing it before YouTube, before you could make money off of it from being like YouTube wasn't monetized yet. Like when I was doing ghost hunting and urban exploration, YouTube was around, but Google hadn't purchased it yet, I don't think. Or it was around the time they're purchasing it, but people weren't making money off of YouTube yet. Like it wasn't a thing, it wasn't a job. Content creator wasn't a job at all when I was doing ghost hunting and urban exploration. And these are like the old school rules that we all pass down to one another. And I feel like maybe there's nobody passing this stuff down to new people, you know? However, there's also, I've just noticed like there's been an uptick, or like, I don't know if I've just noticed it more or if it's been an uptick of just channels being really crappy and using the paranormal or whatever to like get involved in true crime cases to change the story using their stupid spirit boxes and REM pods and other crap like that. Like there's a really bad like just it's happening a lot lately. And I am working on a couple videos about it. I will be doing some video essays. My research team is helping me go through all the content for I mean, one of the ones that bothers me the most is Colin, Paranormal Files, and he has another channel called Conspiracy Files, which just further spreads misinformation. There's so much misinformation, and he's changing the story of like true crime stuff. He's changing the story of what have happened to victims and other people, and like he's changing the story based on what his spirit box says or what his stupid phone app is saying, you know? And so my research helpers are helping me just he has so much friggin' content and it's so damn long. So they're helping me go through his videos so we can pull out like clips and stuff to show you guys. He's a piece of work, and he just recently asked his audience for 130,000 or what was it? No, it's 100,000 I think US, so that he could travel the world to investigate crimes against children that happened from like the 70s. This guy that escaped being arrested, who's probably dead. And like, yeah, please do stuff on him because he keeps getting stuff taken down. He's like, is he trying to get people's stuff to get taken down? Because I noticed, like, I think a lot of his stuff is getting demonetized. I noticed, like, on his conspiracy channel. Um, his stuff is pretty gross. I don't like what he does, especially. And there were, I want to get some screenshots, but I was told about stuff that he left as comments on some channels, and also the people that follow him religiously and comment on his stuff religiously are also seen commenting on very dangerous content elsewhere. Um, he's breeding the certain movement. It's horrible. So, but regardless of him, there's other people too. You know, there's other people that are getting involved in true crime. Oh, what's the one that I was just sent today? There's a psychic. Her name is Donna something. I have it. I can pull it up in a second. She is trying to change the story of crimes that have happened to people based on her psychic premonitions and crap. Like, this stuff is wrong. I don't know, like, what the hell. Like, I feel like I don't know. I guess everyone just wants to make money. I guess they don't care about their morals. They don't care about anything. They just want to make money, right? Oh, and then Amy Bolesky. Oh, there's a clip that I totally missed, and I should have put in my video too. I can show you guys that too. My comments got removed. Yeah, he probably will remove your comments. Yeah. Remember when these things were unexplained phenomena? Now it's this. Yeah, Zach Bagans, I'm gonna say, like, I think he really ruined the industry, honestly. Cause like even Jason Hawes came out with taps, and then people were like trying to incorporate science back in, right? Because it was like there was science with Henry Price and all them, like they were doing science stuff. Then they passed, there was a bit of lull, and like no one was really doing anything. And then the Warren showed up, and then it was all religious based and all demons, demons, demons. And then Tap showed up on the scene with their TV show. My neighbors are home, by the way. You're going to hear banging. They showed up with their TV show, and it was like science and like using cameras and gadgets and like night vision. And it was cool. It was like, I got into it. I was like, yeah, this is really cool. I like this, you know, and they're trying to be scientific about it. Um, and then somewhere along the line, Zach Bagans showed up, and then it turned into just overacting and making shit up. And that's what all the friggin' ghost hunter channels are now. Like, that's all that they do, right? It's so stupid. It's so stupid. Oh, yeah. And then you guys should also watch that Get Haunted one. Right. I forgot. Hold on. I was going to bring this up. Hold on. Let me actually grab the Get Haunted. Ah! Sorry. I'm going to hit stuff because now I'm. Hold on. I'm on my queue for a second here, guys. Let me bring up this video so I can tell you guys what to watch. Pause. Okay. Okay. Didn't a TikTok psychic get absolutely obliterated in court recently? She was accusing a random teacher. Yes, she did. Like she was full on, like that is the definition of defamation. The teach it was civil, I believe, and the teacher won. Like she sued her. Um, if y'all want to know what defamation is, that is the definition of defamation. I will be doing a video on her because I wanted to wait until the court case is over for the Idaho murders. Shit, I'm using words I don't think I'm supposed to use. The Idaho unalivings. I wanted to wait for the court case to be over so I could do like a full video, like telling the ending of the story too. So I gotta check into that and see what's happening with the case. He's made a lot of money on his museum. Yeah, and he just copied the Warrens Museum. Like, it's totally unoriginal. John Zaffis has a museum too. It's all just junk. Like, the stuff isn't real. And oh god, and Zach Bagans now too. He has like war memorabilia in his museum now, and he's letting people ghost hunt with it. He's getting Saddam Hussein's like outfit. I don't know if that's a word I can say on YouTube too. I don't know if those names are allowed. I'm not sure. Um, just it's completely inappropriate. It's inappropriate. So I'm going to be doing a video on just like kind of talking about it in general, how like what the hell is going on, because like everyone's just so, I guess like Hannah said, we've lost the plot of like what we've lost the plot. What the fuck is going on? Yeah. So hoping to do a video on her. Oh, which one? Wait, who am I talking about? Oh, the TikTok psychic. Yeah, I will be doing a video on her. Yeah. Yeah, it's just everything's so unethical lately. Like, it's like, guys, you were making money before you went down this route. Why are we going down this shock and awe route and just completely disregarding humanity? Like, it's so gross. I remember that one fake YouTuber that was claiming the Warrens were contacting him during the time one of the Conjuring films was releasing. The Warrens' grandson supposedly sued. I don't know what the Warrens' grandson could sue for. I don't think that he'd win, but he could have scared the person into stopping doing what they're doing. Because like in America and Canada, so far no case against a psychic has been won. Either way, like whether the psychic is suing someone else because psychics can't prove their ability, so they never win. But us trying to sue a psychic for like ripping us off, like, doing a reading and them just making shit up. It's been very difficult to make a lawsuit happen. So, but it's enough. Like, if you have the money to spend on lawyers, you can waste someone's time and money by just dragging them to court, and that'll cost them money, right? So, I remember. Oh yeah, I read that. What do you think about Paranormal Files? They're sick. Colin is sick. Like, hold on, let me bring this up. Oh, hold on. Oh, hold on. It's gonna mess up my camera. Oh, there I am. Okay. All right, let's take a look at some of this. I'm not going to. God. Oh, God. Hold on, wait. He has so many bad words. Oh, my God. He has bad words all over. Okay. I can't. I don't even want to show his stuff because he has, like, just. He has and his. The Conspiracy Files channel is horrible. It's horrible. I'm not even going to show it because I've noticed that his videos are getting demonetized. He has it up for a little bit until either he removes the monetization or YouTube is doing it, because I've noticed that they'll be monetized for a bit and then they'll just not be monetized. So I don't even want to show the friggin' titles are sick. They're sick. Yeah. Like, I want to show you guys examples, but I want to like I'd have to like blank out stuff because it's gross. The smiley face killers is not real. There's just shit that's not real that he's like furthering, and he'll like find stupid stuff with his stupid apps and be like, see, it's real. So stupid. He keeps moaning on Facebook. Oh, that he's getting demonetized? Yeah, look at the freaking content you're doing, you spaz. God, he's absolutely ridiculous. Yeah, it's gross. So anyway, yeah, he's gross. I don't like that. Yeah, his obsession. What he's obsessing over is what's getting him demonetized. And that is like he also should not be getting involved in it because it's gross. Like he's bringing up stuff like okay, this particular case, right? I'm not going to go into details. But this particular case, this guy was running a ring in the 70s. There's kids that have probably been hurt during that time, and they're still alive now, and they're adults now. And do they want to see this shit on fucking YouTube? Oh my god, I'm sorry, I don't mean to swear. It's gross. Like and the fact that you're using your ghost hunting devices to change the narrative and change the story, do you think they want to see that too? Like it's ugh, it's disgusting. And he's not the only one doing this though, guys. Like there's other channels that are doing this and it's gross. I was told about this psychic, so oh yeah, look, she did a session about Gabby Petito too. I was told that she's getting involved in true crime. Oh god, look, there's a poor kid. Like what the hell? What is wrong with these people? Like this psychic is just making shit up, by the way, about these cases. Like World War III and the solar eclipse. Yeah, okay. Try to not make people more paranoid. Like Jesus Christ. UFO in my living room. This lady's insane. And why are you getting involved in cases? Like you should not change the narrative of any case, any criminal case, any history, because there could still be family members alive. There could still be people who were hurt. Like it's just wrong to be messing in this stuff. Here she's changing the narrative of a case. Here, like this chick is insane. And then you have the ITC channels that are doing it too. I want to play you guys a clip. Swearing in the right reaction, like you said. Yeah, it's disgusting. It's totally disgusting. I'm gonna play this for a second. Let me know if the volume is okay on it.
I've been debating doing this.
Is this
video.
like
and this
super
morning,
loud
it
or
sealed the deal.
Hold on, I'm gonna pause it. Was that super loud? How's the volume for you guys? Psychics covering true crime is insufferable. Yeah, it's disgusting. Yeah, and they just make stuff up. Like it's gross. Volume is fine. Okay. I'm sorry I didn't put this in my Amy video. If I realized I didn't go through all her videos because like I already went through some of her older stuff and I was just like I can't listen to her anymore. I wish that I seen this one because I would have added it to my Amy video, so I wanted to play it in today's stream at least to just be like all right. It's gross. Oh, trigger warning for self unaliving. If anyone needs to leave, I understand. All right. Is it generally considered bad to do tarot readings on crime cases, disappearance? Yeah, it's inappropriate. No, it's completely inappropriate. You should not be involving yourself with cases because there's family members out there. There's also like the other thing that it does too, and I explained this in my Amy video as well, is most cases that are solved, right? The majority of time it's solved by witness testimony, like witness calling in, giving leads, things like that. When a psychic gets on who has like, how the hell many people does she have? Okay. A psychic gets on and they have 3 million followers and they change the narrative of something that could have the unfortunate side effect of messing with an actual witness, and then they don't provide the testimony to the cops, or their testimony is now skewed, and like it can send things in a bad direction or in the wrong direction, right? That's just the witness testimony stuff. Now imagine like you're a family member or a friend and you open up TikTok or YouTube just to see some stupid ass psychic going on about what happened to your loved one. It's gross. It's gross. So yeah. I did go on a bit of that rant with Amy's video. Now this video is super disgusting. All right, I'm gonna play it. That trigger warning. All right, let's get into it.
I have been debating doing this video, and this morning it sealed the deal.
Just really quick here. Okay. The REM pod went off when she's like messing with her curling iron, her straightener, right? REM pods, they have temperature sensors, and that thing is heating up the room right now. They also go off very easily with the slightest bit of electricity or technology near them. And it's going off as she's like messing with her straightener. So like it's not a freaking ghost. It's the REM pods are broken and they're stupid devices that don't actually work. Because you know what's inside of them? It is half of a oh shit, the word just escaped me. The music instrument that's used to do the Star Trek intro. What's it called, guys? It's half of one of those. Hold on. I had the word and then it left my brain because of fibromyalgia. Fibrofog. Star Trek music instrument. Theremin. Okay. So it's half of a theremin and it's missing the other half. So it's looking for the other antenna because you do the theremin by like going in between the two antennas. So it's looking for the other thing to connect to. It's always looking for something to connect to. So she's now holding metal, which is electrified and warm. So yeah, okay, it's going off. And also inside of it is like being held together with glue sticks and crap. Like it's the stupidest machine and it's hundreds of dollars and it's complete bullshit. So like she uses these devices all the fucking time. So number one, your REM pod barely went off and it went off because of what you're holding and doing right now. So there's that. I just have to go on the rant about that. All right, now listen to the story. I'll probably pause it here and there.
My REM pod's going off. You're here, aren't you? You are here. I can feel you. I'm doing this for your mom. Well, let's get to it. So I had a session a couple of years ago. I believe it was almost 3 years ago, give or take, with a woman. She wanted to see if what I did was real. That was her whole thing. She gave me the first name of a gentleman that she wanted me to channel. I brought him through. Call him her husband. But they weren't actually married. They had a couple of kids together, and one of their kids was a daughter. I believe she was anywhere between 18 to 21. Like I said, it was a few years ago, so I can't remember the minute things. But anyways, he came through, and he was able to give clarification on not what only he did. Actually, I think that he went off and he got shebanged, essentially, and he wrecked his car and he passed instantaneously. And he was so sorry that he did this to his wife. Like, he's so sorry. And the daughter, who was older, 18 or 19 or 20 at that time, she missed her dad. Remember that they didn't believe in this at first. Their session, it was just the mom, her session was so amazing that her and I both left in awe. And I think her session is up on my YouTube somewhere. But if this is you that I'm talking about, please email me. And if it is you, your email will pop up as an appointment that I've had with you, by the way. During the session, the dad was coming through and he was talking about how he's excited that she was going and having lunch or dinner with the daughter coming up. He kept putting so much concern on the daughter. There are some things that I just don't know. And there are some things that they just don't tell me. Her session was so good. She went to dinner with her daughter. And I believe from what she let me know, she showed her our session. A week later, while I was at a cemetery doing an investigation, my husband and I received an urgent email letting us know that our session was so convincing. It proved to her daughter that her dad still existed and that the afterlife existed. That her daughter decided to go there. I will forever remember that feeling.
Like, does Amy realize she's responsible for that? Like, she's responsible for that girl unaliving herself because she convinced the mom so well that she was psychic that that daughter unalived herself. And like, she's still doing this stupid psychic shit. Like, how do you continue doing this for a living after you just did that? And like, if this story is even true, because she goes on to say, like, can you contact me or some shit?
And when you watch this, if you see this, I know you were a follower here on TikTok. I know your daughter has been with me. I had a dream about her last night, even though I don't know who she is. But I have been so inclined to make this video.
And like, also, why are you making this video? Like, why are you putting her business out here public to 3 million people? She just made this like 5 days ago. Yeah, she caused someone to to unalive themselves. Yeah. And why are you putting this on TikTok? Like, what if that person doesn't want the world to like be blasted about what her daughter did, you know? And then also you're like, get in touch with me. Like, she goes on to be like, get in touch with me. Da, 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 da. If this happened to you, and like, this would have been, I would think, a normal person, this would have affected them a lot. I would think you would know their email address and you would know the date that this happened and you'd be able to just get in touch with them and not make a public TikTok, which makes me also question whether this even happened. But if this did happen, there's so much wrong with this. Like, yeah, her pretending to get emotional and acting like she's about to cry, but the whites of her eyes are completely white, not red at all. Yeah, she's like, that's the thing. I'm not sure that this story is even true because the acting is just god awful, right? Yeah, and she's doing her hair while she's doing it too. Yeah, like, yeah, and yeah, she tells the story and she doesn't even realize she's the villain. So, I wish that I put this in my Amy video. I'm sorry I didn't because this is like absolutely disgusting. Yeah, like, I'm not sure that this story is even true, to be honest, but if it is, it's disgusting. And if it isn't true, it's still disgusting to make this up and put this on your page. Like, Jesus. She looks like she should be in the aquarium at my dentist's office. She's the leech. Oh, yeah. All you got to do is get a free session with her, be a direct relative of someone she's, oh, God, yeah. Yeah, like I saw this after the video that I did came out and I was like, "Oh my god, this is freaking disgusting." Like and just ugh, just everyone's commenting on it. Like it's gross. Like yeah, it's so tasteless. It's like I lost my best friend to this. No, not this video. This. I lost my best friend. She was like my sister, and I mean I got the semicolon tattoo um for it as well. But I lost her to this type of thing, and her family wouldn't want that on TikTok or YouTube. Like they wouldn't want people. They wouldn't. Her family's kind of part of the problem, but um, they didn't even tell people what happened. They were like, "Oh, she passed from this illness, from diabetes or something." It's like families don't want this stuff broadcasted. Like you shouldn't broadcast that stuff. You know what I mean? Like there's so much wrong with it. Plus the fact that like you just admitted that you're responsible for this. Like that's a completely wasted life because of you, you know? If it's true. Yeah, if it's true, disgusting. If it's not true, next level, it's still disgusting either way. Yeah. Yeah, doing your hair while talking about it is kind of when you have a personal connection like that, like I know I know there's like makeup there's channels that do like makeup while they tell true crime stories and I'll tell you why they do that. Um they're doing that so they can look down so they have something to do with their hands. So they got more comfortable in front of the camera quicker and so that they can look down at their script because they're not using a teleprompter. And that's why those channels are doing that, by the way. But there's channels that do it right and they take like breaks and like moments to talk to the camera at the right time. But if you were personally connected to why this happened, you shouldn't be doing your stupid hair or makeup. Like you're literally saying you're responsible for this. So the idea she'd lie about this implies she hopes it happens in the future. Yeah, if she genuinely did this, I don't know how she can be so callously talk about it on TikTok. Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. Sorry for your loss. Couldn't imagine the void. Forever having to lose your best friend. Yeah, it was tough, and it was on Christmas too. People have no shame anymore, no consideration for anyone but themselves, and willing to do anything for attention and clout. Exactly. No, this is the problem with these stupid TikTok psychics. They don't have to edit a video as well. Maybe cut out some dead air. That's it. Yeah, I don't think she edited it at all either. So, but TikTok, like they just do that stuff. Uh, so anyway, I wanted to play this because I thought it was gross. Um, and also, I wanted to cover off this really quick as well today. Um, if you guys watched my video about Stevie and Truth or Demons podcast, about like it was about Stevie and Kristen, Taryn, and all them, but it was mainly telling the story from Stevie's perspective. And it was what she went through with that little Joey and the Lindley Street and Nesper and Get Haunted. If you wanted to learn a little bit more about the Get Haunted stuff, please do go check out this video. It's from Chris. He actually was in some of the clips with the video with Stevie when she was telling her story. So he made this video here. I did post it on my community post as well, but please do go check it out. He sort of discusses the issues with like Get Haunted, the people involved, the manipulation, the narcissism, and a bunch of other stuff. So, if you guys wanted to learn a little bit more, because if any of you are following the dumb drama from Bad to the Bone Paranormal, that's like being so manipulative. If you're following any of that, definitely go check out Chris's video here. because it's all tied together, you know. I know not everyone's following it, but for those of you that are following it, please do go check it out. All right, those are the two things I wanted to show you guys today. Let's, oh, hold on. This camera is funky when I switch scenes. There we go. All right, switch back to big camera. Oh God, sorry. So this week I was thinking about, I just might film tonight, like how I do research on a psychic and stuff to help people learn from it. And maybe I can find some like psychic readings to try to do some more breakdowns as well, so people can learn a bit more. So I think that's probably what I'll do for this week's video, because I just don't have a video essay ready. I do want to do a video on Oracle of Delphi. And we're working on the videos about this whole issue with like ghost hunters and psychics getting involved in criminal stuff that's like changing the narrative and things like that. So I'll be doing those videos, and we're going to be doing a big expose or deep dive. We're going to be doing like a deep dive video on the CIA program that did the remote viewing and all that, and then all the studies that have come after it and all the meta studies, because we've been doing a peer review of everything. So that is coming. I'm also going to write an article for that for the Skeptical Inquirer as well. So we'll see if it gets accepted too. So love to see how I do research. Yeah, I think that I thought maybe you guys would like to see it, because even I was telling Dustin, because Dustin was like, oh, I think I might do some more expose videos on like psychics, and he just breaks down what they're doing as a mentalist, like what he sees, right? Yeah, oh yeah, don't forget to like the video. But yeah, like just wanted to show you guys some of the things that I do, because I was telling Dustin like my little tricks, I guess, of where I find information sometimes. And it doesn't work for every psychic, but a lot of them, yeah, it does. I can find stuff about them, right? So yeah, I was going to show you guys that. And well, I'll just pick a psychic and we'll do it. And then maybe will that be like an hour though? I know you guys like hour-long videos. How to research a psychic medium. Does researching a psychic medium plus like breaking down readings, should that be in one video or should that be two separate videos? The title would be really long. I think I might just do the title as to figure out the title. What do you guys think? Should I do that as like two separate videos? Or should I do that one video? Because how to research a medium, I don't know if it would take like a whole hour, like if I could make a whole hour video out of it, that would be interesting or not, you know? Yeah, Long Island medium is on the list to do. I actually already have stuff on her, so yeah. I know that there is a psychic. So the psychic that is on Ghost Adventures or whatever, the psychic that's on Zach Bagans' show is not a real psychic, and she tells people she's not a psychic. She's a witch, but she's not a psychic. She's an actress. She plays a psychic on TV. She's at least truthful with that. I don't know what her name is, if that's her, but I know that she's actually truthful about it. Like when she's on the TV show, she's acting. But if you talk to her outside of it, she'll be like, I'm not a psychic. No. One long video? Yeah? Okay. All right, I'll figure it out. Oh, you're saying separate videos? Yeah. I feel like it's two different topics. That's why I'm like, I don't know. I'll take a look at it and see if it makes sense putting it together in a video. Because it's kind of two separate topics, but then it might turn into like two smaller videos, you know? Yeah, I know. There's a bunch of political psychics and medium terror. Yeah, like honestly, they're just making educated guesses, you know? It's like I can predict, like I can predict what's going to happen, and the United States is crazy right now. That one is hard to predict based on past experiences. I have some thoughts, but that's a tough one. It's chaos right now. But in Canada, for instance, we have a federal election that's coming up. Well, we just had a provincial one in Ontario here, and I already knew the Conservatives are going to win. And federally, I'm calling it right now: the Conservatives are going to win. It's really easy to predict political stuff if you pay attention to politics. Like if you pay attention to said topic, it's easy to sound like you're getting psychic visions or whatever crap, you know? Because you're just doing educated guesses. Which would be better for the algorithm? Well, I mean, both of them I think would be fine because people like the psychic videos regardless. But I think because the title would be hard because I'm doing two different topics. Two smaller with a third. I don't think I'd have enough for a third. I'll take a look at it. I might, maybe I might just do it as two separate videos. Um, I'll see. I'll see how long it is. I'll see how long of a video I make doing the research part. I just don't think it'll be very long, but I'll see. I'll see. Because I wanted to do also a video. I just don't know yet the list of things to cover. I wanted to do a video where I wanted to teach you guys the psychic stuff, like the lingo, the the terms, the refuting, the ways that they refute stuff, the ways that you're supposed to argue things back to people. Um, like it's a playbook, the psychic playbook essentially. Um, but I think I'm gonna have to sit down and like write that all out because there's stuff that I forget that it comes naturally to me, and I forget that people don't realize that that's not normal. So I kind of want to also do a video on that, but I gotta sit down and write it out because when I was editing the Amy videos, I was like, oh, I didn't really go into detail about why I'm saying this. So and then I was adding stuff in like for instance, when I was analyzing her reading and it was that husband who was there to talk, you know, to his wife, right? And Amy was like, "Oh, you were there with her when she passed, yes?" And then I gave my feedback. I'm like, "Well, yeah, because he is now acting distraught about her death. He didn't immediately open the session with feeling guilty he wasn't there. Like, these are the things that a psychic would look for, right? To figure out if he was there for her death or not. Things like that, you know, I just kind of want to go into more detail about because I know in my other psychic videos where I analyze stuff, I'm not really going into like detail. It's in my head. I'm processing it, but I don't say it out loud to you guys. And I want to try to say it out loud more because there's stuff that I see that I don't think everyone sees, just because of my upbringing, you know? But it's kind of like breathing. It's like, oh, I forgot that, you know, I forgot to explain breathing. So like I'm trying to pause myself and like sit down and think on this stuff. But yeah, and then um I don't know what to do for the Warrens this month. What Warrens video should we do this month? What do I have left? There's the Conjuring House, but like I don't even want to do the Conjuring House. I'm so sick of hearing the word. I'm so sick of hearing about it. I don't even want to do it. Um, what else is there a Warren's video on? Oh, sorry. I did not get a ton of sleep because I also had to wake up for that ultrasound. What other Warren stuff have I not covered? Um, I might have to look at Stevie's channel and see what she's got going on. Stevie like digs up stuff that I'm like, I don't even know where you get stuff from, girl. Like, my God. So I have to figure it out. You know, a lot of people have actually been asking me to do the entity, like the original story from the entity. So I might even do that instead of the Warrens. Like I knew I was going to eventually run out of Warrens material, and that's why I didn't want to do too much of it all at once. I was trying to stretch it out. Um so I might do the entity story this month. See what I can find. It's going to be tough to find everything. And I wanted to maybe do, well, we'll see. I don't know. Let's see how this month goes. The South Shields Poltergeist. I don't know what that one is. I have to look that one up. I have like a list of stuff that you guys keep giving me. Waverly Hills. Oh yeah, someone sent me. I don't know how to pronounce this. Borg von Vatnetes Prestgard in Sweden. A corrupt fortune teller, friend of the Marquis of Butte, caster of horoscopes, designer of horoscope room ceiling at Mount Stewart, Island of Butte. And they sent me a link to the story, and apparently they're like related to this corrupt fortune teller. So like that's kind of interesting. I don't know if you guys would find that interesting, but I find that interesting. Yeah, Stevie's really good at investigating stuff. Like, she's able to find news articles and stuff that I just don't know how to find. I don't know how to like dig that deep and find that stuff. Like, there must be, I know there's websites like newspapers.com and stuff, and I have looked on there, but I'm like, I don't know where you find your stuff from. Like, I don't know if she, like, is there, like, does she, I have to ask her if she does it. A vid of small Warren stories might be fun. All that. Oh, actually, there is a channel that I saw who has unreleased footage from Warren's investigations, and they did have some stuff in there that I'm like, oh, I didn't hear about that. So maybe I'll go watch some of their stuff and then figure out some other investigations. San Pedro haunting. No, I have not covered it. Yeah, I think I will do the entity story this month for sure. Um, Also, I do want to do some episodes on ancient cults. I wanted to just do like an episode. I want to do some history episodes. I really do want to do some history episodes. So I want to do the Oracle of Delphi, and I want to do an ancient cult one. And oh, and I'm gonna start the demystifying demons, where I'm gonna do a weekly video, like every week, where we cover a demon, and I'm just kind of like telling you the history of each demon to demystify them because they're actually not scary. They're all like pagan deities and gods that existed before the Bible. So popular things they have in their museum. It's all garbage. Like it's not it's the thing. I mean, yeah, I could look at their museum. It's just like the stuff they have, it's fake. Like they're just made up stories. Um Rasputin. Yeah, who did a video? Was it Bailey Sarian who did a good, it was a good Rasputin video. I think it was Bailey. It was quite good. I love her dark history stuff. I like the history stuff. Bailey Sarian Rasputin. I think it was. Yeah, I did watch hers. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, because wasn't he like a psychic? And he like grifted his way into like royalty and stuff. The debauched one, yeah. Yeah, he would be interesting to cover too. Bailey did a really good job with him though, so I'm not sure I can do better than Bailey, but we'll see. I could add him to the list too. Here I'll add him to the list. Oh, I wanted to do a video. I know I did the history of like seances, but I kind of wanted to do a video on the history of psychics. Because like mediumship is very new. It's only been around since the Victorian era. It wasn't a thing before for other than voodoo practices. It wasn't a thing, and psychics were like fortune tellers, not mediums. So it's very new, and it was made up for parlor tricks to rip people off. So I kind of wanted to do the history of psychics. Yeah, Bailey Saren's awesome. Yeah, yeah, I love her stuff. I want to say that there's some Warrens or Zaphis sniffing around San Pedro a bit. Are they? Oh, God. Yeah, Zaphis also has a stupid museum with crap in it that's not at all scary because it's all bullshit. Rasputin ran Russia. Yeah, dude, like he grifted his way in there, man. Like psychic grifters have been around a long time. Spirit photography, I do cover that in my seance video as well. It's pretty easily explained, so I don't know if I could do an hour because I got to make an hour out of it, right? It's like spirit photography is like one aspect of the spiritualism movement from the Victorian era, which I get into a lot of that in my video. Yeah, there isn't a whole lot to the techniques. It's just like double exposures. And hoodoo. Yeah, hoodoo showed up. Hoodoo showed up, I think, actually after. Yeah, it showed up after the Victorian era. Hoodoo is not as old as voodoo. Who was the psychic during the Boston case? Was there a psychic? I don't even know. Was there? Let's see. Google. Peter Herkos. Interesting. Huh. So we could do a video on him. That looks interesting. He tried to get involved in the Manson stuff too. Peter Hurkos. Hurkos. Palm readings? No. I mean, it's all like pseudoscience stuff. I mean, I do tarot and I like astrology. It's just fun. But I try not to take it too seriously. Palm reading is like the same. It's the same thing. Same with like numerology, all of it. Like it's not like astrology has been debunked. Numerology, it's just it's just a pseudoscience that psychics use, right? It's interesting. I haven't really found it to be that accurate in anything. Palm reading, it's a lot of stuff that people made up and just passed down over the years, and it evolved. Oh, that's Beardo. Amy Allen from the Dead Files, probably be an easy video. Yeah, like I don't think that she's psychic at all. Huff Paranormal and his expensive spirit communication box. Huff Paranormal, isn't that just like a branch of? No wait, Huff Paranormal. Is that part of Huffington Post or is this someone else? Is this like an actual person? 1.7 million followers. Oh Lord. He's just using spirit boxes for everything. Oh my God. Why do these people have millions of followers? I don't understand. Like, it's even just in bad taste, like what they're doing. This is an ITC channel. It's just, it's really bad taste. Well, all we can do is call them out and hopefully people realize. So, there's a Norse story myth that starts with a very cinematic style ghost summoning, sitting around a table and table shaking, all that. Interesting. I mean, if you remember the name of stuff, yeah, they do it for money. It's so dumb though that people like, oh my God. I know why people believe in this stuff. It's just, even if you believe in it, don't you realize it's kind of poor taste to be like putting that online about like unsolved cases and like, even if you're a believer, it's still poor taste, you know? I don't think people realize. I don't know. They're too caught up in the mystique or whatever of it, or too caught up in wanting to believe it because, like, that's what a lot of it is a lot of people want to believe because of grief or whatever reasons. Like, they're just like, they're either scared to death. The majority of it is they're either scared to death and they want to know there's something after, or they've lost like loved ones and they just want to know that they're okay. And that's the majority of people who believe in psychics. And he sells the spirit boxes. Spirit boxes are just stupid radios. Like, I feel like people don't know this. It's just a radio. It's a radio station talking. Escapism. Some are escapism. I would say ghost hunting is more escapism, like audience, right? But like the followers of psychics and stuff and ITC channels, like they're the ones who like want answers. The majority are they want the answers. They want to believe that there's something after. And they're too caught up in their grief or their fear of death or whatever it might be to like question what's going on. I think it was the saga of Elric the Red. Interesting. I know I did. Actually, you know what? I think I covered that in the. What was I think no, I think I covered that story in my Christmas video because it's a Christmas story. Yeah, it's all ghosts of past kings surrounding a table, and they meet every year at Christmas. So I did cover that in my Christmas stories. Hadn't considered that. Yeah, for psychics, that's what it is. Psychics prey on people who are desperate. It's like I would say 90% of the audience are people that want answers or are scared to death, or want answers either because of grief or because they're scared to death. Have you covered Harry Price? Yeah, in my history of seances video, I did cover him, but I know I said like I should do like an actual video like specifically on like Houdini, Harry Price, James Randi. That's another one. Like do an actual like just full video dedicated to them because I have them inside of videos. Like I talk about Harry and Houdini and James Randi in my seance video. Um because they're like the first debunkers, or well, I mean, Harry Price and Houdini are kind of like the first big debunkers. I'm sure there was ones like in ancient history, but they started the debunking movement, which amongst magicians especially with them. So yeah, it's interesting. Spirit boxes are annoying. Oh yeah, I know. I hate the way they sound. I find REM pods super freaking annoying too. And they're just BS machines. Yeah, yeah, that is the story. Yeah, I cover it in my Christmas. I don't know which ones. It might be in my hour long one because my hour long Christmas stories is multiple Christmas stories all at once, but I do have chapters on the video. So, um it's something with a dragon, I think I labeled it as. And I believe it's the Christmas Ghost Stories. Yeah, the Haunting Christmas Ghost Stories. It's like 45 minutes long. The story is in there. Yeah. It's like the dragon cave and stuff, and yeah, it's an interesting story. Imagine being dead and still having to go to a meeting every year. Well, I mean, that when you sign up to be king, I guess that's what you're signing up for there. You have to come every Christmas to have a discussion about what's going to be done for the year. Um, it's an interesting story. If it was over here, they probably would say they meet every Halloween or something when the veil is thin, because that started over here, I think. Well, not started. It just became like really popular over here because it was already a thing in certain countries. So I wonder if it was because it was already pretty much a thing in like Ireland and stuff. When did it happen that it turned into like the Halloween date, like October? I wonder when it first showed up. I never actually have gone back that far to figure out when it first showed up. When because there was other countries that didn't call it Samhain and they called it something else, and I think they were doing it the long before the English pagans started doing it, because I think it was like the Vikings or like the not the Vikings, but there was like Ireland peoples. No, maybe it was Vikings. Norse people. They were doing stuff, pagan stuff, before the English pagans started doing stuff. Before the Druids and stuff started doing it. So it's all interesting. I do find that stuff really interesting. So yeah, so this week I just don't think I'm gonna do a video essay because I can't get it done in time. I'm already friggin' exhausted. Seriously, body, don't fall asleep. I have such a big list, and you guys keep giving me more stuff. I don't know what to do next for the Warrens. I might need to like poke Stevie and be like, what have you got that's interesting that I could try to do a deep dive on?" I know, well, one thing I did find interesting, but I think Stevie found all she could on it, was the original house that Ed Warren lived in that was haunted. She did actually find out more about that house. And sorry if my chair's squeaky at all. Actually, here, I'll take out these earphones. Um, she found out more about that house, and I would actually like to look into that house a little bit more. The History Guy is a great video on Halloween. Yeah, I did a video on Samhain on Halloween as well. I don't know that I went all the way back to. I don't know that I talked about it based on how it was adopted into Halloween, like what Halloween originally was, but I didn't go before that. And that's really just because it slipped my mind, to be honest. Yeah. Um, I do want to revisit some of the Warrens case. Oh, right. What I am working on with the Warrens, I totally forgot. We have the priest thing that I've been working on, and I totally have put that on the back burner because I forgot I was working on that. I've been working on gathering info for all the priests that have ever worked with the Warrens, because I want to do like a breakdown video of like their religious side and the priests that work with them, and kind of get into that a little bit. As well, also I wanted to do a breakdown of their family tree in a separate video too, to talk about like the family members and the people that are still doing stuff and with the Warrens Foundation and the Warrens name, or have thrown their weight around to get where they're at in the industry. Because there are still family members doing a lot of stuff. So yeah, I just saw your message, Andrea. Yeah, like Tony Sparrow. It's not just Tony. Like there's John Zaffis and stuff as well, and then there's people associated with Nesper. So like I kind of wanted to do a breakdown of like all these people. Victoria, love you so much. Keep up the exciting work. Excellent podcast. Thank you. Yeah, of course. Yeah. Have any priests ever come forward and said, I think they're full of crap? No, even like the Catholic Church, they knew what they were doing was BS. And the Catholic, technically, too, a lot of the majority of their stuff that they're working with was, it was the Robert McKenna movement stuff where Catholicism version 2 came out and a bunch of priests didn't want to accept it. So they were maintaining version 1 and they were technically excommunicated from the church, and all the exorcisms and things that they were doing were technically not sanctioned by the church. So they weren't really following Catholic law, but they believed that they were because they didn't believe in Catholicism version 2. And this is what this video is about. Is talking about that and how the priests that they used technically weren't even approved by the Pope. They were actually excommunicated, but they believe that the only true Pope is the one that was around during World War II, and that Pope happened to be that Pope supported the wrong side, if you know what I mean. So they're basing their whole religion off that Pope. Yeah. It's interesting. It's interesting. I have Joe helping me with it because Joe has like a huge background in the Catholic Church and everything. Because I want to make sure I get all the information about the Catholic Church correct too, because I'm not Catholic and I wasn't raised Catholic. So I just want to make sure I also get all the information correct as well. So I got to sit down and actually, that one's a little bit more work because one, a lot of priests they renamed or they gave different names. So there's going to be a lot of, I think this might be the priest, or I think this, and two, they worked with a lot more priests than I realized. I did not realize that they worked with so many damn priests. So there's that. Yeah, there's a bunch of stuff like, also, I believe that Lorraine was the actual religious one, and I don't think Ed was religious at all. I think he used it to sell their image, but I think Lorraine was the religious one. So I kind of want to talk about that as well, too. Ed just took on the whole demonologist crap when the Exorcist movie came out. They spin themselves from paranormal investigators to demon hunters because of the Exorcist movie. Oh, yeah, and I found their teacher when I did the Lindley Street, the person who trained them to be paranormal investigators and was training Lorraine to be a psychic. So I kind of wanted to get into that too. I guess that's the videos that I have now. I don't think that we have stories about a haunting, but now we're getting into the nitty gritty about who they associated with and like what was going on behind the scenes. That's sort of where I think I'm probably at now. I'll take a look though and see if there's any more ghost stories before I get into it. Honestly, I don't even really want to do the Conjuring house. Like, have you guys heard Andrea Perrons? Like, she's insane. She's now saying that the haunting was aliens. Like, I don't even want to do this house. The current owner is crazy and she's like litigious, and the Andrea, all of her stories are out the window. One, they keep changing, and two, now she's saying aliens did it. Like, the only reason I wanted to do The Conjuring was to do yet another video on making sure that people realize Bathsheba was not this evil person that Lorraine turned her into. That's the only thing that would drive me to even do it, is just to really talk about Bathsheba. The Warren lady, Elizabeth Warren? I don't think I've heard of Elizabeth Warren. Is Elizabeth Warren related to the Warrens, or is this someone else? Because everyone that is currently alive that's related to the Warrens doesn't have the last name Warren. There's a U.S. senator named Elizabeth Warren, but I don't think she's related to them. Born. Oh, she's got the last name of a husband, so no, she's not. I really don't think they're related. Also, because Ed Warren wasn't even his real last name. He has a different last name, actually. Stevie knows the last name. I have to actually get that from her. Which is more likely, aliens pranking people or spirits pranking people? I think spirits. I also do. I also do believe in, or at least, okay, I'm not 100% believing in it, but I think there are things that we can't see. And the Native American peoples, the indigenous peoples, talk about them all the time. And they're not human spirits. They're spirit eaters. There's different classifications for these like earthbound spirits, nature spirits, things like that. And I think that there might be something to that, or like, I don't know. Their stories are so interesting and so detailed, and I don't know. I get fascinated by them. So I would say I believe in that it's like an indigenous people spirit, maybe, that's watching over the land versus an alien. Yeah, and Jacqueline Nunes will sue me. Exactly. And that's the other reason I don't want to do it. Yeah, don't do it. Keep focusing on your research. Yeah. I meant the lady who lived in the house the Warrens investigated that had the German Shepherd. Which house? Because they investigate a lot of houses. Let me know which house. Oh, hey. Oh, there's Chris from Fear the Living podcast. That video I told you guys to watch. That's Chris. The Fear the Living podcast has Chris and Stevie and Kristen and Taryn, and they're doing like a podcast together. Definitely go check that out as well. His last name was Fraud. Huh? Yeah, I have to grab his last name from Stevie again. She has his real last name. I don't know, like, I have to ask her the origins of that. Was it the middle name changed or like what's up? So Dayton, Ohio vampire mystery. Oh, I can add it to the list. I do want to do a deep dive on the Count of Saint Germain. That's an interesting story. The Ohio vampires. Oh man. Yeah, there should be actually a video. I think it's coming out. No, wait, did it come out already? I thought it was coming out like the 3rd. Chris is driving, so he can't type. Let me just look it up really quick. Fear the Living Pod. Oh, it's coming out tonight. Actually, it'll be coming out in 1 hour. The next one, and it's about debunkers and the Conjuring House and things like that. So that should be an interesting one, actually. So yeah, what I'll do is I'll just point you guys to him. Then let me do this again. Grab the link. Sorry, I'm going to be hitting the mic. Hold on. I really want to get a shotgun mic. I hate having this mic in my face. It's annoying. Let me pin this. Oh, hold on. Do. Yeah, they're going to be talking about me. I don't know what they say about me, but I trust them. All right, that's the link. I just oh yeah, don't type while you're driving. Yeah, so there's the link. Yeah. Janet Smurl. Um, I covered the Smurl case, actually, a bunch of it. I did do a video on the Smurl case. All bad things. Yeah. Yeah, I trust them. That's where I'm like with the Ouija brother thing, like, you know, like people make mistakes, and I'm sure we'll make a mistake. I'll make a mistake one day and I'll be asking for forgiveness too. So I think like what I think it was live stream or something, and it was just essentially saying like we'll just see what their actions are going forward, right? Like if they realize their mistake and they learn from it and they change, great, right? Um, if they keep making the same mistake, like then it's a problem, right? So yeah, I think that's sort of the idea with the Ouija brothers. Like I think it was very wrong what they did, but let's see let's see how they make it up. Because, yeah, one day one of us is going to be asking for forgiveness for something that we fucked up on. You know it's going to happen one day because we're human and all of us fuck up. So she seems so interesting, Janet. I think she's just a money grubber. I do go into detail on the family with the Smurl case stuff. It just seemed like they wanted to be famous and make money. They even like jazzed up their vehicle to look like the um Partridge Family. You know that show when it was on? The family that travels together and their like van and they're like singing and blah blah blah. Yeah, they had their car all like painted and it was called the Smurlmobile and stupid crap like that. It just seemed like they wanted to be famous. Break out the apology ukulele, yeah. All right, stop typing. Go drive. Be safe. But yeah, we'll head there after this. Yeah. Like this video. Yeah. Yeah, we'll watch the pod after this one. After I'm done here. Sorry, I don't mean to yawn in your faces. My bad. Um so yeah, it was very wrong what they did. I feel like I feel like maybe all of us old school like paranormal investigators and urban explorers um yeah, the Spermobile's unhinged, Laura. It is. I found out about it after I made the video. Someone messaged me and told me that they live down the street from them and they told me about their stupid vehicle and how dumb it looked. Yeah, it was very Mystery Machine meets like the Partridge Family. It was so stupid. All the neighbors hated them too because they ruined the neighborhood. Like they made things harder. They did tell me too that there is a sewage leak and it's been there and it's still there. Like all the things that I was saying were a possible issue in the video, like actually are an issue and they're still an issue because the state refuses to fix it after the hurricane that happened. Oh yeah, I'm spreading the yawn. Oh my god, I'm sorry. I forgot that spreads. My bad. I'm so sorry, guys. It's because I woke up too early and I didn't get enough sleep. Um, right, Ouija brothers. I would say, I think that us old schooler urban Xers and paranormal investigators maybe need to like remind people of the unwritten rules that are technically written, but they are unwritten, and you really don't learn them until like someone who's an old school urban Xer or whatever teaches them to you. The squirrel family haunting. Oh, it's nuts. That's funny, actually. You know what's funny, actually? Some neighbors were saying that the noises and the banging they heard were squirrels. They're like, yeah, there's a squirrel problem here. There was like news clips I found, and they're like, there's a squirrel problem here. They throw nuts at our roofs. They're like, it's not haunted. It's squirrels. They're just idiots. It's so stupid. Oh my God. Oh yeah, Smurf, yeah. Someone got so mad. So like their last name is funny. Okay, their name is funny, all right? And like I was joking back and forth in a comment thread with different viewers and someone commented like, "You're all so mean making fun of someone's name. I'm unsubscribing." It's like it's a joke. It's a name. Like some people take names way too seriously. Like you know those people where you mispronounce their name and they get super offended? Like my name, nobody can pronounce it my whole life. I don't care. Like you got to get over it. You cannot freak out about a stupid name. It's so stupid. Partridge Family Bus. Okay, well, as far as it was sort of described to me, it was like as if it Partridge Family Bus mixed with the Mystery Machine, but probably painted by Timu painters. A wish.com Partridge Family vehicle. um Caves. Oh, there were caves. Yeah, there are caves under the house too. They are like the Smurfs. Oh my gosh. My last name is strange. Yeah, like some people like people just like get so offended by name pronunciations or like names. It's like it's not a big deal, guys. Like calm down. Or some people get like really upset when you mispronounce a word. So I'm at the point where I'm like, if I mispronounce something, fine, yell at me in the comments, but I'm not going to engage with you on it. It's the stupidest, pettiest thing to go off on someone about. Like mispronunciations happen. A lot of people, especially a lot of YouTubers I've noticed, are homeschooled or were homeschooled, and they don't know how to pronounce a lot of stuff because they never had anyone teach them pronunciations for things. So like I find it cute. Whenever I see it, I'm like, oh, they must have been homeschooled. And then I find out, yeah, they were homeschooled. So it's surprising how many were homeschooled. Yeah. Also, there's a lot of YouTubers that were in high school for the COVID years. So they actually were doing homeschooling like through their high school because you had to do like remote school. And a bunch of them didn't even graduate in person. Like they have a lot of problems, they have a lot of socialization issues, I've noticed. It's very interesting. I'd be interested to see like a video essay on that. The Smurl Smurfs. It's pronounced prawn unk. I don't know how to say the unk part. Unk? Wait. I don't know how to say that. Unk. Unk? Prawn unk? Yeah, I mean, if there's like a derogatory component to it and like someone's like doing that because of that, yes, you get offended. Definitely you can get offended. But that's where intent plays a role in things, you know? Just like, there, so who was it? I was watching someone, and apparently the YouTube transcription and captions, there's a word that when you say it even correctly, it turns into a bad word that can get you demonetized. So now people aren't saying this word, and I can't remember the word, and I should probably try to remember it because everyone's like, stop saying it. They were talking about it. The tape library does videos on things that are not scary. He makes them sound so scary. Just watched one about a talking rodent. Yeah, he's really good. The tape library and sometimes the Y files does like really interesting like stories that aren't true. My only issue with the Y files is he waits to the end to say that they're not true, and he makes them so convincing. And I've talked to a lot of people in my comments that I could tell didn't watch the end of his video because a lot of people don't finish a YouTube video and waiting until the end to say it's not. That's why when I do like my ghost story videos, like with I'm going to debunk, I explain to people like I'm going to tell you the story first and then we're going to debunk it. And I say that from the beginning, just so that people don't think that it's like a true story because they didn't finish watching the video. So no, it's not Uranus. It's a bad word. I have to find where I watched it. I watch a lot of crap and I can't quite remember where I watched it. It's like cuz I put on stuff in the background and I just let it run while I'm cleaning or doing other things. And then I'm like I can't remember whose video this was on. Unless it got me like super enthralled to sit down and like watch it, or if it's like a topic that I think is important to talk about, like the Ouija Brothers thing. Oh, I didn't get around to watching the J Carts video. I was gonna, because I think Marie, am I did I get it right? Did I remember it right? Um uh I think you said that the J Carts video was pretty good. So I was gonna say, the only reason I didn't watch it when I saw it was released is it kind of looked like he was doing like a full on reaction, and I didn't want to watch the stuff if it's not blurred. So I'm not sure. Did he blur the stuff or at least skip over those scenes? Because I really don't want to watch those scenes. Yeah, the Y Files does miss some obvious debunking too. He he does do a lot of that. He assumes people will think of it. Yeah. He's blurred it? Okay, good. Yeah, because I still know J Card. J Cards will react to the whole video, I've noticed. So, like, his videos are a little long. But, like, I hadn't ever seen him blur anything, and that's why I didn't watch it last night when I saw it. Because I do like his thoughts on things. Because he's very, like, new to, like, debunking, and new to, like, realizing that a lot of this stuff is, like, fake, right? So I find his observations very interesting because he's new, right? Um, and I mean, there's stuff that I guess like I'm kind of like newly debunking. Like, yeah, like there's a lot of like psychic stuff that I'm like newly debunking areas of psychic, you know? Um, but I like seeing his perspective because he's like new to stuff. So yeah, yeah, it was unsettling. Yeah. And that's thing, like that's what I was saying is like I just feel like they weren't, because there is a line and there are rules, and urban Xers follow these rules, but they're unwritten rules. Like we pass them down to one another, you know? The other rule is you don't share the location of where you went to. Like you don't share it with the public. You can share it with a fellow urban explorer, but it has to be someone that you trust because otherwise they're going to go trash the place, right? There are rules, but they were passed down to me from urban explorers that were from like before the internet. Like I was hanging out with old ones, and so like these are old rules, and I feel like somewhere along the line we stopped passing down the rules, or it's that these people aren't urban explorers, they're paranormal investigators and they've never done urban exploration. And if you're going to go into a abandoned place as a paranormal investigator, you need to learn the rules of urban exploration, and maybe you should immerse yourself in that world a little bit before you go into abandoned places. Because the other thing is, these abandoned places are very dangerous, like dead air. Look that up. You can die from breathing in dead air. And in these abandoned places, they have a lot of pockets of that. Also, the water that's sitting in a lot of these places is extremely poison. Like, you just touch your skin, you could die. Like, you need to know what you're doing when you go into these places. Also, you need to be ready for a homeless person who might be angry and attack you too. It's very dangerous, you know? He had a very thorough video. Okay, yeah, I'll watch his stuff. Yeah, yeah. Because, yeah, I wanted to watch everyone's stuff before the stream to kind of see what everyone is finding out. And it sounds like the timeline isn't quite right, though. There's something off with the timeline. But yeah, I wanted to see what he said too, but I just didn't have the time to finish watching his stuff because I watched Seg's stream while I was doing stuff. Hey, from the UK. Hey, James. I think he recorded and didn't do it like, yeah, yeah. They were saying he blurted out. So yeah, that's the thing with Jake Hartz is like, I don't know sometimes like if he's going to blur it out. So I'm glad he did blur it out. Cause, I do like watching his reactions to stuff as long as it's like a reasonable amount of time. I do get bored. Well, not bored. I get ADHD moments and I get distracted. So like for whatever reason, I can sit down and watch video essays, like Swoop and, um, who's some of the other people I watch? What's his name? The guy with the dog. Inabber. Inabber does good video essays. Um, Another one that really keeps my attention because he yells all the time, and I fuck. Sorry, I didn't mean to swear. I love the yelling and the passion is Danky Jabo. He does like current, like they do like current issues or whatever, like problematic creators. They do video essays on. Swoop though, I love her stuff. Um Into the Fog, well that's a storytelling channel. I recommend that. Peter Law's very good storytelling. Um Oh, Mr. Gray did a video on the ethics of paranormal investigation. I guess because of this thing, I want to watch his video. I want to see what he has to say too. Okay, Beardo's feeling better because of the live that he just did. Okay, good, good. Um, yeah, I watch a lot of video essay people. Oh my god, the longest one I watch is shoot, what's her name? Eh, of course, I forget her name now. Damn it. It's a weird name and I don't remember it. Oh my gosh. Um she does these like 5-hour video essays and she's able to keep my attention. I can't remember her name right now. Hey Trey. Yeah, I'm going to be wrapping up here soon. We're going to go check out the it's pinned at the top there, Fear the Living Pod's next episode. They talk about debunkers and stuff. Do I listen to Emma Kenny? No, I don't think I've heard of Emma Kenny. Emma Kenny. EY or oh, she does true crime. I'm very picky with who I listen to for true crime, honestly, now because I've noticed a lot of the true crime channels have gone really gory and they're picking out really shock value stories, and I don't really care for that. I just kind of I like hearing the story. Just tell the I don't know, like you don't have to be so gory. So I'm really picky with true crime. Right now, the only true crime that I'm watching is one Bailey Saren, mainly because I watch her to fall asleep. I don't know, her voice like puts me to sleep, like helps me sleep. But I really love Better Off Red. She does a show. She calls it Crew 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 Trime or something like that. Crew Time, something like that. Better Off Red. She's really fun. She's very energetic and she does fun things too, like where she'll start naming off the bad people and she'll like do fart noises when she says their name because they don't deserve it. She's really fun. I like her. And she doesn't do like gory shock value stuff. She just tells like some stories, you know. Yeah, I find that I sleep better to her dark history. I like the dark history stuff better though, to be honest. I'd rather her put out more dark history than the Mondays or whatever. Yeah, there is a line. There is a line and like we all used to know the line. Like I know people are discussing, "Oh, what's the line? What's the line?" It's like, "Well, there is a line and it's really just like human decency." Like if you think that their family I don't know. I guess the line is like if their family is still alive, like if people that they associated with directly are still alive, that's like the line. Like, you know what I mean? Um it's a tough one because even I know even there's some places it was like an asylum I think Seg went to or something, and he was explaining that there's one wing where they're like you can investigate it but don't put it on YouTube, and it's like that because they're like there's still family members alive and a couple survivors that are still alive from this horrible asylum, right? And it's like that's great because I would think that's the responsibility of the location owner to let you know, hey, like this wasn't that long ago and don't put this up on YouTube. And I really appreciate location owners that would give that warning, right? Because you're not always going to be aware that there's still, you know, survivors or whatever around. So Stephanie Harlow, yeah. She's all right. she doesn't keep my attention. Her story, I like the stories she picks out, but for whatever reason, I always get distracted whenever I watch her. But she is good. She's not a shock value one. Yeah. Adelaide Haunted Horizons. Yeah, I think I remember hearing about them a while ago. It's pretty common sense. Some have neurodivergent. I mean, I'm neurodivergent. I don't know, but I guess I was raised weirdly though. Um, it's hard to understand if people don't get the ethics of discussing. Yeah, like I see, because I was raised weird. My mom's a philosophy major, and she made me take like ethics courses and stuff. So like when I was at a young age, I was taking ethics courses. They were like pre-college ethics courses. For because like if you have like an undergraduate in philosophy, because I wanted to maybe do like law or psychology, and they're like philosophy looks really good for like a law degree and a psychology degree. So I was kind of doing those courses. But like I just feel like it's common sense though. I don't know. You really have to go to school to learn. I don't know. Is it just the modern day that people don't realize? Like, is it that we're so disconnected from one another? Like, there's like a screen between us all. Like, is that the problem? Because a lot of these people too were people that may have graduated high school during the COVID years. Like, COVID was so long for some people that their entire high school career was done from home, and they never actually got socialized during that time. That I feel like your teenage years really build your empathy and understanding of your fellow man and create these lines, and you learn this stuff, you know? Yeah, no, we don't. I know we don't teach kids. And also just critical thinking courses too. That would have been great. I didn't learn that until college. I'm like, why don't you teach that in high school? Any Elise rules? I don't think I've heard of that person. Clever ain't wise. Yeah. Generation Y is my favorite true crime. Oh, Generation Y is my favorite true crime podcast. All right. I've checked out podcasts. If it's just audio, I do have trouble paying attention. Like when I was doing research and I was listening to Chris's Believe This podcast, and listening also, I listened to some of Stevie's episodes too. Of she has stuff only on Spotify. I'm really bad if there's not a visual in front of me. So when I listen to podcasts for research, I do it two times. I do it double speed because otherwise I will stop paying attention and have to start over again. Yeah, I feel like this is like stuff that you learn from being around your fellow man more though. And I think maybe between COVID and the internet, it's created this weird barrier and we've lost touch with like common decency. Like I feel like you don't have to define a line because most people know the line, you know? But don't get me started on COVID. I got F during it and having to move back to Georgia from Michigan. Yeah, people went through a lot of mess with COVID. That's why I'm like, I feel like COVID may have set back some of this kind of stuff. I feel like some people lost in a lot of areas, you know? Like it was good that we didn't stop the spread of it. Don't get me wrong. I just feel like there's some um like there's it had more effect on us that we're realizing later as we work through life, you know? For instance, oh god. Oh, let me see if I can remember his name. Hold on. Oh man. If you guys like want to see a complete train wreck drama, hold on, let me see. God, what is his name? What is his name? Oh no. Don't have him in my history anymore. Oh, here it is. Okay. All right. Only if you okay, if you guys enjoy stupid drama, okay, about drama channels, um watch just go into YouTube and put in Lewis McClung. He's someone who like his high school was during COVID. Like he wasn't, you know what I mean? And just like his downfall on YouTube, it was rough. He keeps releasing videos where he's not doing the research and he keeps being shown that he's just basing stuff off of cuz somebody told him. Like and he's not, man, his downfall's rough. If you guys want to see a messy downfall, just open up YouTube and look at Lewis McClung and see all the commentary channels that made videos about him. You took critical thinking in high school. Yeah, apparently it was only available to like certain students in certain high schools because it was available to like the gifted classes. But critical thinking wasn't around in my high school. It's not in Canadian schools, but I learned it because when I went to college for technology, and you learn it in tech class. You take a critical thinking and logic course. I'm like, damn, they should have had this in high school. If you've never heard the prosecution's opening in the Chandler Halderson case, I suggest giving that a listen. Matt Orchard has a video on the case, includes a full opening. All right, I'll have to take a look at that. I've seen the effect it had on my oldest son who's 19 compared to how my great 16-year-old is. Yeah, no, like it's like, okay, Lewis McClung is the best example I can give of it. And the thing is, like, I watch some of his stuff, like, because I watch drama channels sometimes to reset my brain. The stupidity resets my brain. It makes it turn off so it can rest during the episode, and then I can work again. I don't know what it is. It makes my brain quiet down. It's the ADHD. I think it's like doing something, all the flashing and stuff. So I did watch some of his stuff, and I'm like I was following him, but I'm like, some of your stuff seems off because I watched like Dinky Jabbo or something, and I'm like, he seems a lot more researched, and he said this, right? And then everything started coming out, and then he was explaining to people, okay, like I was following this because I was totally invested, but he was explaining to people how he went to his high school was during COVID, and he was like a theater kid, but then he was like, he lost a bunch of years of his high school, like around people, and it affected him and stuff. And I was like, man, it did. I can see it now. I see it now. Now that it's been pointed out, I'm like, I can recognize it in people. Yeah. And the world does listen to a bunch of BS right now. I don't know. I think people are just so like desperate to escape or something. Need to clarify my statement about Elizabeth Warren. She needs to she needs to be from her office in the US government for all countries here. Oh yeah, okay. So it's that politician I saw. I don't know anything about her. But she's not related to the Warrens because technically Ed's last name is not Warren. Um Stevie has the info. I'll grab that from her. The medium has become the messages. Yeah, no, I know. Yeah, it's so weird. Like I feel like, yeah, people have gotten dumber. I don't know. Not like, I'm not talking about the Ouija brothers. I'm talking about like the other people that just like, I don't know. People don't do research anymore. They don't look stuff up, They don't like, I don't when I do research like for my videos too, I try to find like three sources for something, right? Unless I'm just doing a commentary video on someone. Um but that's what I was always taught when doing research and writing essays is find it in three places, because if it's in three places it's got to be accurate, kind of deal, right? So Miney, that's it. Yes, he made his middle name his last name, like to go by, but his last name is actually Miney. That's right. Yeah. um So, okay. So, what I'm going to say is we should head over to Fear the Living Pod. I'm going to watch that next. So I'm going to end the stream here cuz I'm going to figure out what the hell I'm eating. Oh, I have donaires. I'm going to make donaires for dinner. Those of you who are not Canadian and on the East Coast have no idea what that is, but they're freaking awesome. It's like spicy beef, but it's like bacon. I can't even describe. It's good. It's so good. I have donaires. I forgot. I'm gonna make donaires so that I can eat while I'm watching the podcast thing. But only trust the sources I like. Yeah, like I try to find things, like I do use Wikipedia is pretty good because I know Susan and her team are always watching it. And then what you do is you look at the footnotes on Wikipedia, and that gives you some more backing for a source for information. But then I try to find stuff like in journals or newspapers or things like as additional sources. So, Sandy, oh, I'm sorry that you had a rough day. Yeah, I feel ya. It's been like a rough couple days too. How many times do books get reviewed and edited compared to a tweet? Oh yeah, no, you should not use Twitter for research. Yeah. Yeah, donairs are so good. And there's like this like sweet sauce you can put on it if you want. It's like a creamy sweet sauce. And with the spicy, because I buy spicy donair meat. And it goes in like a pita, and the meat is very greasy. Okay, it's a very greasy meal, but it's delicious. And then you take the pita and you put it in the pan of the grease with where the meat was, and then you sort of like flip it and heat it in the grease. Okay, it sounded like a fat person meal. It kind of is. It's really good. It's really tasty though. All right. Um I will randomly post a picture of it on, when you see it you're going to be like, "Oh, that's I can't remember the word. Fibrofog. It looks like something else, but it doesn't taste anything like it. I don't know the word for it. It's a Greek thing. All right. I'm going to end the stream here. I'm going to make food, and then I'm going to be there for the pod because they talk about me and they talk about the other debunkers too. So that should be a pretty good episode. So I will see y'all there. It's pinned at the top, the direct link to that episode that is going to premiere at the top of the hour. So definitely go check it out with me, guys. All right. Get back to the 3-part finale of the first season, Lost. Oh my god, if you like Lost, really quick. Okay, there's a TV show called From, and it's like the movie The Watchers meets Lost, and it's really good. And I normally can't sit down and like watch a whole season of a show, but like when I was sick for that week, I laid in bed and just watched everything. Like, it's so good. You need to watch that show. It's very good. All right, I'm gonna leave here before I keep talking about more stuff. All right, you guys have a good one. I will talk to you later, and I will see y'all in the Fear of the Living Pod episode on the debunkers. All right, see y'all.